Hey guys, so you're gonna say these 3 words to help you see things in a different way. Okay, when it comes to money, this is what I have seen through looking at different people and people that are totally stressed when it comes to money and their high amounts of debt. We're talking about like high. We're not talking about a little bit of debt. We're talking about high amounts of debt. So you're gonna say these 3 words to me or to the camera in general, or look at the mirror, say these 3 words, and this will go and get you to see things in a different way. Okay, so we're gonna go and say these 3 times over, and I'm gonna go and tell you guys why right after. So I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. So I'm gonna go and tell you guys why you should say this. So I've seen so many people that have been in high amounts of debt. We're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, up to 200,000 or 300,000 or nearly to a million. I'm going to go and tell you guys why I think this is so important to say I'm abundant, especially when you are in this kind of debt. Okay, so I've met so many people that are way up there, and they have this idea in their head that this debt is so crippling that they can't do anything about it, and so all they can do is just stare at the news or go and stare at themselves in the mirror in this unhappy state, or go and whine, bitch about how unfair things are, or that just lay there and do nothing. So this is why I see in a lot of people, or they're just really, really mean and want to go after every single person out there that they see, pretty much. So this is what I have noticed. When people are this kind of debt, they're actually very intelligent people, but they just don't know it. And like I said at the very beginning, there are so many people in this world where they have light within themselves and they don't even know it. They have no idea. So they go do all these things, all these behaviors to get themselves in this type of position. And these types of people that I have seen is they have this mentality that that it's somebody else's fault, or it's life isn't fair, so this is what they get in return kind of deal, or this is the result of suffering, so I deserve this kind of suffering kind of deal. At least that's what I am seeing in multiple people that are in this kind of debt. And they have this energy that I can pick up where it's very low energy, and it's just very low kind of deal. And they think they can't do anything with it, this kind of way. So they think, I'm too stupid to come up with on how to get that certain amount. Let me tell you guys what I think about this. So if you are in that much debt, honestly, why would any banker give you that certain amount in the first place? Why? Why would they even do that? If they think that you can't get if you can't get that amount back, why would they even hand that amount of money to you? Why? That's like honestly, if someone that came to me and they're asking me for a certain amount, and I think in my mind, they can't come up with that. Obviously, I wouldn't go give them that amount, right? I mean, any logical person, if they think that they can't get that amount back, they wouldn't even hand that amount to them, period, right? Now, in their situation, they were handed a certain amount, right? And that banker believed that they could get that amount back, and they would go and give it back. So if they handed, let's say, $10,000 to them, right? They believe that this person is intelligent enough to come up with $10,000 back. with interest, give it back to them, right? And so if you are handed, let's say, 90,000, that is your potential of how much you can make. That is what the banker thinks, that is how intelligent you are. You have to view it in that way, guys, when it comes to huge amount of debt, because I see so many people that have this mentality that they are crippled as heck. They can't do anything, and they feel they are not smart enough to come up with that amount plus interest. But you are smart enough. Let me tell you, there are some people that I've met where they think they can't, but they refuse to do anything with their situation. There's this person I know that literally has a master's in writing and super good at writing, and always talks about wanting to write a book but never did. And they literally could have sold a bestseller book, several bestseller books, and make that certain amount back plus interest to the bank, and they refuse to do anything. They also could go and teach English to people that don't know English. They could also go and tutor people, like online and in person. Go to people's houses and tutor and get that certain amount. They could go and give out life advice in general and talk about their experience of how they got in that situation. They could go and go online and, sell their skill set of whatever writing skills, grammar, and all that. But they refuse to do it. They could get that certain amount back, but they feel in their mind they can't. But they can. They're intelligent. They have a master's degree. Their writing is really good. I've seen it. And it just amazes me when I see so many people with we're talking about like hundreds of thousands of dollars, up to $1 million, and they think they can't. But I literally see their light. I literally can see their light, and I see that they have so much potential on what they can do, and they refuse to go and do it. And so sometimes they need help. But that's what I'm seeing in a lot of people. So this person that I met is hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they could use their skill set, such as, teaching English, writing a book, being a bestseller, and, going online and going in person and tutoring, all that. And they don't want to. That's how dim their light is. And then there's this other person that I met, and they are, it's up to like nearly $1 million, and they also are a great writer, and also has a very interesting life, very, very interesting life. Like, this person could go and talk about all of her stories about in her life, like she is a mother and has 3 autistic children, and could and has a husband, wonderful husband, and she could go and talk about all of her stories, all of her amazing stories about her children. And she's a really great writer and refuses to go and do something. She's always wanted to write a book, but refuses to, because she feels it's that depressing of her situation, and refuses. Instead, just wants to sit there and gripe. And it's like, you are smart enough to go and make that amount. That banker that lent you that amount of money thinks you are that smart enough to come up with that plus interest. Like, it's that crazy to me with people that think that they can't go and see their light and see what talent and gifts they have already in them, and all the things that they can share. And then there's this other person that I met, where they're very, very funny person. Oh my goodness. Probably one of the funniest people I ever met in my life. This guy. And he is in a lot. And he, went through a lot of struggle in life and was, addicted to drugs. But, they didn't know how to get out of that rut kind of deal. But this person's so hilarious. Like, he could literally walk in any room and make everyone laugh. He just knew how. And he went and he literally could be a comedian and make bank. He's that funny. He could be a comedian. Go online. Go do shows. Could go and, sell funny shirts or sweaters or whatever sayings that he wants to do. Or could go and, go and tell funny stories and get paid for it. I mean, it's just crazy to me. On like these so many people that don't see their light. That, it's not your typical gifts and talents. It's just that they have different kinds of gifts. Everyone has different types of gifts, and they don't know how to use it. And honestly, like, these bankers trust that you have something in you to go and make that certain amount and go and get that interest. Like, they have belief in you. And that's how you kind of have to see it. When you are, if you have so much debt and you're crippled and you feel like you're this depressive state and you can't do anything, you're just lying on your couch, you're watching TV just to drown out whatever's going on, or you just sleep. Because I've met this person where they were in a lot and all they would do is sleep. Because it's, they could just not think about whatever the reality was. And this person was really smart when it came to guns. This dude knew all about guns. But didn't want to go, what he could have done is gone and teach people on how to go and fend for themselves with a gun. And go online and go in person and teach people about guns, because I know nothing about guns. So they could go and make profits to go and sell their knowledge about guns. This person knew everything about guns. It was crazy. I was like, oh wow, that's a lot. And then this other person that I've met, and this person is so funny and very sweet. He was in a lot of debt, just family things happened, like because of medical bills. He was paying for medical bills for one of his family members, and I totally understand on how that can ruin someone. I get it. I totally understand. And it can be so depressing. I get it. But this person was so smart and he would not see it. And I kept telling him, you have all these talents and you're not utilizing it. Like, you can do all these things. I would name it, and we talked for hours and he refused to do anything. So he loved to go and drive people around. And he was amazing with connecting with people, like talking to people and making friends. Like, he could go to a party, like go to any random party and make friends with everyone easily. And he would tell me that he was shy, which I thought was really weird, because this person, I honestly did not pick up at all that they were shy at all. Like, I never picked up on that. But he said he was shy. And I was like, that's kind of weird, but okay. Because he made friends with everyone in that party. I was like, wow, okay. And I was telling him, this is what you could do. You could go and make a business where you go and make it like get these make it like get vans, and then glamorize it, and have a big screen and all that, and you're gonna drive people around, kind of deal. And you can have massage chairs, and you could, if people want a massage, then they're gonna have to pay up extra. If they want their ad, whatever business they have, they're gonna have to pay extra. You could go and get if let's say if they want like certain drinks or food, they're gonna have to pay extra, or just little things. And he loved to drive people around, and he had this van. It was like I don't know what the type of van is called, but I call it a raper van because it looks like it, but I don't know what it's called. But he had one of those, and I was telling him, like, if you fixed it up, invest your money and fix it up and make it glamorized, whatever, and then you could go and put in seats that have massage chairs, and then make it look really nice, and then go and drive people around, like parties and all that. So it'd be kind of like a smaller party bus situation, and you drive people around, kind of deal. And if they want extra stops, charge extra for it, kind of deal. And he was like, oh, that sounds amazing. And then he refused to do it. And so he's still in his same spot, right where he is right now. And I'm like, this is your potential. Like, you were handed this certain amount and you don't see your potential. Like, you can do what you love to do and go and charge for it, like, because like that's how much of potential you have, and this is what you love to do, so you can go and make a living out of it, and he just didn't want to do it. But I'm just like, that is what you could do. And he loved talking to people. He would go and make all these connections, but wouldn't want to go and pursue anything. And I said, why don't you go and throw parties for people, plan out parties for big venues or something, and go and figure out, make connections with people that, do party decorations or catering, stuff like that, because that's what you're really good at. So do that. And he didn't want to do it, but I'm just like, that is how much potential that you have. Like, that's how good you are with people. Do you know how many people would kill to have that skill, to be able to go in a room and make friends with every single person in there? To go and, love to go drive people around. I don't enjoy driving people around, but he does. And you can go and make a living out of that. Then, doing Uber, because he wasn't feeling he was making enough from Uber. And I was like, well, you know what? Like, you can. You can go and figure out another way to go and make way more than Uber if you want, and, make that amount that you want. And so I think so many people aren't seeing their skill sets and their gifts that they have, the light they have, and they look at a certain amount that they are owed, like that they owe to someone, and they know it's plus interest, and they're like, oh, it's just too much. I'm like, you have to see it in a different way of, your skill sets and your talents it's not going to be like everyone else's. It's just not. And that's what makes everyone so unique, is that they can gather their talent and use it to the max, to go and have that amount and give it to the banks if that's what they are, if that's what they owe. And it's all possible, and then have extra for themselves. And I think that more and more people need to go and realize that, like, I am abundant. I'm abundant I'm abundant. Every time they see every time they are in a situation, they need to go and say that before. So if you're about to walk through a door, because like I said, every single time you're going through a door, you're welcoming every situation that comes in that door. So before you do that, you're going to say, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. And it's going to train your brain to see all the possibilities out there and make you see in a positive light of what all these situations can do for you. Because I went and, I used to struggle a lot with not really seeing all of the opportunity. Yeah, I knew there was opportunity, but I wasn't seeing it all because I was not saying these words when I walked through a door. So there was one time where I went to Business Expo for my business, and I was trying to make connections, and I thought I had a booth, but I didn't have a booth, which I went and put this on TikTok. I honestly really thought I had a booth, but apparently I had a thing where I could just walk in. I didn't have a booth. You have to pay a certain amount. That was never explained to me. I was like, okay, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go make connections and talk to people. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I walked in and I talked to people. And I was not seeing all of the possibility. I was seeing some of the possibility to some degree. So I was seeing that I could go talk to people and get to know them and get to know their business. So I would ask questions, blah, blah, blah. And I think that people weren't liking that. I don't know if I was giving off this energy where I felt a little bit like threatened a bit in a way. I don't know, like something at the time I felt a little threatened. And so I wasn't seeing that what I could have said back then was I could have gone and said that, oh, my cleaning company could go and clean up your station, or could go and if they one company went and they had they were selling office space, and I could have said, oh, my company could go and clean that office space. I don't know why I never said that. It didn't occur in my brain. And I guess I was focusing on the amount it would, because I wanted office space for my business. And I was looking at the price of it, and I felt intimidated by the price. And I was focusing on that number. And that is on me, and I recognize that. And I should have went and said to myself, I'm abundant, because I would have finally have seen that I could have gone and said, oh, I could have cleaned that office space for all the people that you go and, rent out the office, when they leave, because they would go and rent it out for a certain time. And I could have said, oh, I can go and clean that when they leave. And the next person could go and rent out the space. I could have done that. And so that's why I say it's so important to say, before you walk in any situation, is to go and say, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. Because you can see half of the possibility, but you're not going to see all of the possibility if you're focused on something else. And so that is what I have learned. And I think that more and more people need to see the light that they have within themselves and the gifts and talents they have. And that's kind of what we do every single day, is to go and figure out what that is and how to make it maximize it, and to go and do whatever we can to live that abundant life. So guys, if you are struggling with finding your light within yourself, and you are very stressed out over debt, one of those two, or both, go and join my group chat. And I think that we need to be aware of ourselves, and I'm gonna go in there and inspire you guys, and I'm gonna go and have you guys text your situation out, and we can go and talk it out, and I'll go and inspire you guys. I will send you certain affirmations that you need and to help you get through that day, because I know sometimes we forget, and I know how hard it is to remember like every moment of our day, to reframe it and to go and see all those possibilities that are, so guys, join the group chat or video call me, and we can have one-on-one talk, and you can go and talk to me, and I'll give out my opinions, and I will help you find your light within you. Okay, so bye guys. I'll see you.